They took over the film. Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you're new, welcome. Today we are going to be watching Gremlins 2, The New Batch. If you have not seen my first reaction to Gremlins, I will leave a link down in the description box below. I really liked the first Gremlins, and I'm hoping to like the second one. But I'm hoping that this is a Christmas movie because I did not know the first Gremlins was a Christmas movie, and I did that movie in like July or June, and it was kind of weird because um it just was weird that I did a Christmas movie in like June or July or something, like that. So I'm hoping with the second one that it actually does take place during Christmas, but knowing my luck, it probably would take place like in the summertime or something, and just kind of mess this whole thing up because I can keep trying to do movies that are seasonal, to just kind of be with kind of um just trying to do movies that are seasonal. So hopefully this takes place during Christmas, and hopefully we don't get another tragic backstory with Kate, I believe, because that was really tragic, and um, would not wish that on anybody. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Kate just had a really tragic backstory. I'm not going to ruin it here. If you want to know what happened in that movie, go ahead and click the link down in the description box below and go watch that first before you watch this one. That's the most memorable part for me, was Kate's backstory, besides the actual gremlins themselves and how we actually defeated them. And remember, they can't be exposed to light, they can't get wet, and don't feed them after midnight. Maybe they'll add some new rules to the gremlins or something like that. Maybe Spike will return. Um, Spike seemed to be the leader, seemed to be the one with the most brains on how to actually defeat Kate and I believe Max or somebody. I don't remember his first name. I wonder how the new batch gets created as well. I just hope that the Gremlins 2 kind of lives up to the first one. But let me know down in the comments below if you prefer the first or the second Gremlins. And without any further ado, guys, let's get into Gremlins 2, The New Batch.
Stop the music! Meh. What's up, Duck?
What's up?
Years of you hogging the spotlight is enough. I am riding the shield from now on. Ho, ho. Very funny. You may expect to hear from my attorneys.
I don't know if I should leave the reaction or not.
If I'm not gonna star in this cartoon, we might as well just start the movie.
That's kind of interesting. I didn't think I'd see Bugs Bunny and Daffy introduce the new batch. Very different feel from the first one, that is. Had a voiceover narration the first one, I think. This one we're following a limo. I think that might be the same guy.
Mr. Wayne?
Or the same actor, I should say.
Daniel Clem.
Certainly, it's the same character. Ah, yes, VHS.
I'm prepared to increase my offer substantially. As I develop the biggest buildings in New York, and you sell, little things. Chinatown Center, where business gets oriented. Mr. Wing, you're the only holdout. State-of-the-art. From the voice-activated elevators right down to the self-cleaning ashtrays. I'm really excited about it, and I'd hate to see you miss out.
Ah, the Magua, or Magua. I forget which.
A man can always agree with others. It is more difficult to agree with oneself.
True, because we constantly contradict ourselves.
That the answer is still No.
TV. Really, you gonna show Rambo? And Rambo 2 nonetheless.
Survive a war.
Yep, Rambo 2.
You gotta become war.
First Blood Part 2.
I thought Mr. Clamp's offer was most generous.
Let me know if you guys want me to actually do Rambo on the channel, even though I've already seen it.
You know, no visit to New York is complete without a tour of the world's most fully automated office building. Clamp Cable Network Television.
The death of Mr. Wing removes the last obstacle to developer Daniel Clamp's long-delayed Chinatown project.
Who's gonna take over for him? And what I mean by that is not the organization that wants to buy the place, but who's gonna run the shop after him? They still look like Furbies to me.
Well, Lewis, it's like I've always said. If you want to find something weird, you have to go downtown.
I don't know. We've been living here all this time, and I'm still in the same job.
It takes time, Billy.
Billy, not Max.
At least we could afford to get a decent place to live. Get married.
Well, it's been 6 years.
Your precision and efficiency.
But Marla, don't you think that the first
Listen,
plan was...
this deadline, it's not my fault. They're making me miserable, so I have to make you miserable.
It's the circle of life.
This is your problem right here. You only see your little part.
It's almost finished. They just have a few
That
minor...
courtyard looks cold. It'll be better with the trees.
Are they going to plant trees there?
No, but you're going to draw them.
Unauthorized potted plant. What's this?
And that's Kingston Falls. That's my hometown.
Maybe everybody here would like to do some little touches. Coffee mugs that say world's greatest lover.
Wow.
Coming to work every day in a $200 million flea market.
It's just one or two things, personal items that he has. It's not a big deal.
Do me a favor. Do better.
It's not like it's going to distract him from doing his job.
Mr. Forrester, I have a potential violator, sir.
It's easy to say to do better, but you need some guidance to do better. I feel.
That's an unauthorized break period, my friend. You don't work here anymore.
Clamp Center is the most advanced smart building in America with the latest in security, communications, and climate control. Now, for those of you who have cable TV at home...
Cable TV at home. Yeah, that'll be replaced in, like, what, 40, 50 years now? Cable TV is honestly on its way out by now. Now it is, I should say.
I went into broadcasting. I thought I was gonna do news, public affairs, something meaningful. All I have is a cross-eyed puppet named Igor.
Reminds me of Igor.
There's a research laboratory upstairs. Genetic research. Fooling around with animals.
Okay, that was a brain in a jar. Don't know if it was a real brain or not. That was kind of creepy.
I'm supposed to get the flu this week.
I think we have the flu out backward.
Sound effects.
Cute, isn't it?
That may be genetic.
I'm willing. I'm ready. I'm willing and I'm able, so you better come and go with me.
It's actually, I've never heard the song, but it's actually a pretty good song.
Not so fast, my boy.
Sell samples tomorrow. Tissue cultures Thursday.
Then, of course, there's body structure.
And for that, my little friend, we'll just have to cut you.
I like how his eyes got big.
On that drawing, you know? I mean, that's it. Honey, my light went out.
You sat still for too long. The building thinks that you left. It's saving energy. Jump around.
Jump around, jump around, jump around. That song from the 90s. Or, I think it's from the 90s.
Laboratory, you know, in 51?
Uh-huh.
And somebody was, like, humming it.
That's a problem.
Hi, I hear your copier's down.
Back there.
Thank you.
Man, that sound effect is so gross.
Kiss Mom. here.
Yeah, that got me to jump just a little bit. And I'm sorry, that's kind of cool. That is kind of cool, even though that's kind of mean. But that is kind of cool.
There's flashlights, there's dark.
And they like the dark.
Theodore, how did you get out? Alvin, put down that DNA.
Reference to Alvin and the Chipmunks. Why would you ever try to have a conversation with the Mogwai or Gizmo in here?
Did you miss me? Yeah, me too.
Just don't get him wet.
But Gizmo, what are you doing here? What were those guys doing to you? Wow, that bad, huh?
Yeah, I forget that he speaks Gizmo language, whatever that happens to be.
What is this? Is this a little black armband? So do me a favor, get down there and don't say anything, and I'll come back and take you home as soon as possible.
Mr. Clown, sir.
His face is like stone, I guess. It was kind of weird.
This is excellent.
Isn't that terrific?
You've captured the whole essence of the project right here. That's what we need here. People who produce.
People who produce. This is a career opportunity advancement window. We can talk about it at dinner.
Well, I can't really do it
I
tonight.
have something tonight.
Oh, this is gonna mess with Kate.
You keeping some kind of pet in there?
No. Okay, Gizmo, now listen. I have to go now, but I'm gonna send someone to pick you up, okay?
What, are you gonna send Kate in? Because I don't think she can get in. It seems like your building has to have clearance. Why are you leaving?
Gizmo's here, and
That furry thing?
That furry thing?
you get to take him home.
Take him home? Billy? No.
Just obey the rules, that's all. Don't let them get exposed to bright light, especially sunlight, because it kills them.
Don't let them get wet. Eat after midnight.
That is correct. Yeah, that is correct.
Don't miss Casablanca, now in full color with a happier ending.
I'm gonna plug that. Casablanca is on my channel if you guys want to watch it. I will put a note card up in the corner here.
What's it gonna cost the company for me to get a drink of water? Taste the wrench for you, my friend.
Taste the wrench.
$75 to go to the bathroom, 30 cents. The sit master back in the drinking fountain. 6 months running.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I was like, why is he panicking for a second? And they just said it too. And they just reminded us about the water. Uh-oh. Gizmo was trapped. How many did it make? 4? They seem a little bit more goofier than before. The new Spike.
How'd you get up there? Billy said to take you home.
That's not Gizmo. I don't like that look in his eye.
I see us swallowing up the publicity department.
I don't see that for him. I just really don't, given the way the relationship is.
When art and business join forces, anything can happen.
Forces.
Billy.
Striking.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah, great.
How about some horn?
You just had to say that.
Some mashed potatoes. Oh, God.
Whoa, that was kind of a cool effect, but also a dizzy one.
Oh, shoot.
Yikes. Who says yikes?
What happened to you?
Gizmo.
How was your meeting?
It was fine, thanks.
She notices the lipstick, I bet.
This is not Gizmo.
Is there anything we can do to calm him down?
Oh, great.
Who could that be? It's so late. Oh, surprise! Mr. and Mrs. Butterman. We thought you were coming tomorrow.
Murray was a little distressed after, you know what happened with those.
I'm fine. Well, the building it's being fumigated.
Fumigated.
And you know,
Bugs.
mice and stuff like that. You know,
Rats.
guys. All kinds of weird foreign bugs coming into the country.
Weird thing to say.
What these things are not reading these studies.
It's a rat! Thing in the topping.
What kind of thing was in the top?
I don't know, a furry thing. And it's supposed to be healthy.
A furry thing, and it's supposed to be health food.
It's after midnight and they've eaten. What are we gonna do now?
Oh yeah, I just happen to have this fireman axe.
Security.
At least we can keep him from getting wet.
Hold it! Hold it right there! Get the hell out of there! That's a restricted area.
I really wouldn't do this if I were you.
Yeah, but you aren't me, are you?
We gotta shut the building down.
We?
We?
No, there's only one thing we gotta do. We gotta get the cops, and we gotta have them put you in a rubber room.
We gotta put you in a rubber room.
Where they wreck things.
Ooh, they wreck things. Ooh.
Oh.
6 hours. They probably made their cocoons by now. Come on.
Well, how long do they take to hatch?
Not long enough. Come on.
That's a good question. I don't know how long they took to hatch. That's cool. I'm sorry, that's cool though. I like the sound effect. And the camera shake.
Bright light. We'll need some of these.
Last night was so wonderful. I'll have to do it again.
Billy, if we get through today alive, you're in big trouble.
But he didn't do anything.
Great.
Evacuate the building? Why is that?
There are creatures in it, sir.
Halt, sir. You're having a psychotic episode.
What if they're eating in an airplane and they cross a time zone? I mean, it's always midnight somewhere.
Wow. I thought he killed him.
Ladle up some of our chowder noodles.
Yep, I was waiting for that. I was waiting for the gremlin to pop up. That was funny. He can say a few words in this one.
Do you see what these monsters are doing? They're throwing metal utensils into the microwaves. You can't do that. Stay here and die.
Stay here and die. What happens if they get wet? Well, we kind of already knew the answer to that from the first film, but I forgot about that.
Whoever they are, they've got to respect the chain of command.
Making photocopies of Gizmo.
38.
38.
I would not trust the elevator at this point.
Elevator, stop! Sound alarm.
I love that. I love that.
Call that big department store. We'll get, they got a lot of people. They call
That's gonna...
a warehouse in New Jersey.
Yeah, I'm afraid what's gonna happen. Do we actually get to see what that did? I want to see what that did to her. Maybe I like the Dutch angle on this. That is terrifying. Oh my god. That is so terrifying. That is such a vivid picture. That's very, very creepy. She'd be dead, no question. She'd be dead.
You don't think that thing had rabies, do you?
Sir, I don't. Listen, we have to stop these things from getting...
Sounded like the Star Wars sound effect for the doors.
Now, I know some people found this movie fun, but me, I'd rather spend 2 hours having root canal work done. Our moviegoers so desperate for entertainment that this kind of trash is for fun. Whoa, wait a minute! Oh, this is kidding!
I mean, they could strangle him to death if he's not careful.
I trust that's not the brain hormone that creature's drinking.
Okay, I thought it was killing him at first, but I don't know what it's doing now.
I wanna talk a little bit about what's going on in this room, because I think there are some fascinating ramifications here for the future.
Wow. It's talking.
That fellow over near the, I believe that's a common bat of the order Chiroptera, the only mammals, I might add, capable of true flight.
Wow. They can talk now. That's awesome. I just love the design.
Ah, genetic sunblock. This formula, specially designed for those of the nocturnal persuasion, to make bright light no problem whatever. That will be of crucial usefulness where you'll be going.
Wow, he had to actually talk to him about actually before stabbing him.
The apple, the city's so nice they named it twice.
The apple's so nice that they named it twice. I just love that line. Probably my favorite line in the movie so far.
Yes, I'd say it's a full-scale panic. We're advising our clients to put everything they've got into canned food and shotguns.
Wow. Canned food and shotguns. The Wilhelm scream? The Wilhelm scream. That shot again. That was in the first movie as well. I will give the movie credit for this, though. It got right into it. It didn't waste pretty much any time doing it.
Right now, this building is on fire.
What?
Yes, the building is on fire. Leave the building. Enact the age-old drama of self-preservation.
In self-preservation. Gargoyles. That reminds me of Gargoyles, the show. I like the music in the background.
They're real. I saw them.
I know, I've seen them too, but where?
What's going on? They took over the film. They broke the fourth wall. Bunny rabbit. That was probably my favorite part of the film right there.
This is worse than the first one.
We just show these movies, madam. We don't make them.
All I want to see is Snow White, the Seven Dwarfs.
To the callback to the first one.
Could you help us? Gremlins in this theater?
Mr. Hulk Hogan.
Do you think the Grimsters can stand up to the Hulkster? Well, if I were you, I'd run the rest of Gremlins too, right now.
And let me guess, they started at the very beginning.
Unfortunately, police are not permitting any news media inside the building at this time. One case of a tourist encountering one of these creatures.
That's kind of terrifying. And disturbing.
Don't be afraid of the why can't you commit?
Why can't you commit? Come on, Gizmo.
Survive a war, you gotta become war.
From the lobby of the Clamp Center building, where this invasion by strange creatures, sending hundreds of people fleeing for their lives.
Come on, Gizmo. Channel your inner Rambo. Your inner Sylvester Stallone.
Wait, hold it! No water. That's not a fire in there. They're gremlins.
I bet it looks like a spider. You guys don't have a problem with spiders.
What is that? It's one of those things.
Because of the end of civilization, we hope you have enjoyed our programming. But more importantly, we hope you have enjoyed life.
We hope you enjoyed life.
Well, you see, sir, sunlight kills these things. That's why they're all in here. But if we can fool them into thinking that the sun has actually gone down, well, then maybe they'll all gather in the lobby.
That's the only way out of the building, those front doors.
That sounds like a fire hazard. Gizmo's still going at his training montage.
Gizmo? Gizmo?
Made his own bow and arrow, or bow rather.
Creature, what is it that you want?
We want to be civilized. I mean, you take a look at this fellow here. Now, was that civilized? No, clearly not. Fun, but in no sense civilized.
True.
Convenient credit, even if we've been turned down in the past.
I just found that funny about the credit thing.
Things can only come out when it's dark, so we've set all the clocks in the building ahead 3 hours. Drop this thing, the sunlight will come pouring through these front windows here and fry them.
Darling, it's you. Thank God you're...
Yeah, she's got some beef with you.
Nothing happened. I did have designs on him. I didn't get to first base, okay?
It'll do.
Yeah, but it's gonna take forever to actually cut her down. Or maybe not. That is sick. I like that. That's a cool design. Gizmo to the rescue. I really like this music in the background.
Guess they pushed him too far. Can't give up now. Washington didn't give up. Lincoln didn't give up.
Please.
What's wrong?
Oh, don't mention Lincoln. Something terrible happened to me one year on Lincoln's birthday. This man with this
Honey,
beard and a hat looked just like Abe Lincoln.
Honey, I really don't think
Except
we've
for
got
the
time for this now.
That was a cool reference to the Santa Claus story. I like that. I like that a lot. So it's just a clear reference to the Santa Claus story.
Is everybody here? Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today.
Strange creatures now appear to be mounting what seems to be a musical.
And you're in the trash can. The cat call.
In a few seconds, Mr. Clamp's gonna drop that cloth, and then the sunlight's gonna come in.
Something happens outside that they're not gonna be able to do it. Yep, thunder.
There's a fire hose around the corner. I want you to find it and aim it into the lobby, okay? Find a box for Gizmo, put him in it, and make sure he doesn't get wet.
Okay.
Marla, smoke.
Thanks.
Marla's smoke.
Ready, Billy?
What are they doing? I thought the idea was not to get him wet.
Sure hope you know what the hell you're doing. Turn off the hose!
That's still messed up, and I like the reference to the Wizard of Oz. So I'm wondering if one is still alive somewhere, like Spike was.
Get some sun this weekend.
Get some sun.
You work for me, don't you?
Yes, sir. Very, very hard.
Ah, romance between those two.
My new head of public relations here will handle all questions.
What happened? Where's the camera?
Well, sir, you kept the city safe.
The sacrifice. You know, that could be good in my next book. I should be taking notes. Hey, wait a minute. What's this?
It's Kingston Falls.
Hey, this is what I've been looking for. I want to build it for my next project over in Jersey.
There you go.
Bill, you sell me this design, and we're going to build the biggest, most sensational, quiet little town you've ever seen. Funny, I look at him. You know what I see?
What's that, sir?
Dolls with suction cups staring out car windows.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Kind of validates the whole Herbie thing.
Lose that headband, though.
He likes the headband.
That he does. He likes the headband. And I kind of do too. A little bit. Just a little bit.
Forrester, what are you doing? Okay, we'll get you out of there. What floor?
Oh, yeah, he was entangled with the female Magua. And they left us with that mental image. Really, Howie Mandel is the voice of Gizmo. It's the one that does Deal or No Deal. I'm gonna be surprised. It is easier to agree with others than it is to agree with oneself, and I find that very true for this movie. Just because I feel I have very mixed opinions about this film in general, but just because of the references and stuff. And don't get me wrong, I like when films references other films and stuff like that. That's not really the issue, but when there's so much of it, I'm just kind of mixed on that point of it. That I'm just like, I see almost every. I wouldn't say I see every single reference, but I would say I see most references and stuff. Um, but that's par for the course, I guess, with this. But I just feel like they overused um the references, and they also overused the Dutch angle a lot, and I was just kind of tired of looking at the Dutch angle and that type of stuff, and also the references as well. Um, and also the inspiration that they took from different movies and stuff like that. Um, don't get me wrong, it has its own, story and own it has its own story and plot and stuff to kind of move the characters forward a bit. And they reference, what happened 6 years ago, but still, I think it relies a little bit too much on nostalgia and other references to other movies, even though it's its own thing, its own references. It relies on guest appearance. It relies on a guest appearance from Hulk Hogan when they break the fourth wall. But overall, I did like it because when I'm watching it, I'm not thinking about that stuff and how it's, referencing other stuff, but I like to see that. So when I'm watching it, I don't really think about it referencing other stuff. But when I step away and I'm not watching the film or working on the reaction, I'm thinking about that type of stuff, about the nostalgia bait and all the references and stuff like that. So that's why I say I'm kind of mixed on it. Going back to Howie Mandel, when I had mentioned that at the very end, he actually was the voice of Gizmo, the one that does Deal or No Deal. So I was very surprised to see that. But also, I found that he did the um first voice of Gizmo in the first movie. So that was kind of interesting because I didn't pick up on that with the first movie. I really only caught it in the second movie, which is very, very interesting that he did both. I just happened to catch it in this one. The stuff with the reviewer, um, I know that's parenting something. A very famous film critic at the time. I just can't think of the name right now, but I know he existed, um, and that sort of thing, because of the kind of the setup and how he it was presented. Um, I would actually like to go and see if I can't find that critic and stuff and see kind of what his format was and stuff like that. But anyway, that was a um reference to that, which I thought was kind of interesting. Um, about halfway through, or a little bit under halfway through, I'm just like, um, they're doing references to Die Hard with thing, but once I realized that they were just kind of copying Die Hard, not exactly, but referencing Die Hard, I kind of lost interest in that because it just didn't feel, I don't know what the term is, unique, special, um, like they kind of came up with their own idea. I think they just kind of used Die Hard as the example because Die Hard came out in 1988 and this came out in 1990. So with the popularity of Die Hard, the filmmakers seem to choose this for a setting, which honestly does seem like the next logical steps. Technological building, like that one was, like it was a smart building. Kind of reminds me of Smart House. Uh, in 1993 or 92, that film. It was a Disney Channel DCOM, and I remember that I liked that film a lot. Um, but it was referencing things that had come before as well. Yeah, I'm just very, very mixed when it comes to the references and it being its own thing and stuff like that. And I do believe that it is its own, thing with its own story and stuff. Um, Towards the end, I felt like they were just adding stuff for adding stuff's sake. Like how many references they could put into the movie towards the very end, besides the musical number and stuff, like the whole Godzilla scene, for example. I felt like that didn't need to be in there, but it's in there. Um, and I just left that in there to make this point as well because um, I just felt like towards the end they were adding stuff that just kind of to pad the runtime. It wasn't going to add to the plot necessarily. It wasn't going to, you know, change anything about um how the film was going to go. Um and that sort of thing. So towards the end there, that's how I felt. Billy, not Max. I really like Billy in this one. He seemed to really take charge because he seemed like to be the only confident person to actually know what to do. Even though Kate has experience with these gremlins, she was waiting for Billy's direction on what to do exactly, and that's how the first one went, which I could understand. Um, that, but I can also understand her hesitancy to actually do anything. He has the most experience dealing with them, and that makes sense. But Kate also has experience with them, and it was kind of disappointing that her not to, take on more charge in that situation, just because she has some experience dealing with them as well. Um, she was just kind of waiting for Billy's direction to get the go ahead. I wanted to see more Billy and Marla's story. I wanted it to be a little bit longer. I wanted to see um where that might go, kind of what all could happen there. I felt like we just got kind of like a taste, and they basically set it up just um so that Kate would have basically a rival to pit her against, or to create tension there between Marla and Kate. And I like it, but I felt like there's a lot more that could be done with it. Um, if they really wanted to. But really, again, I think that's not the focus of the film, and nor should it be. But they needed something for Kate to do, I think, or to be mad at, or something like that. The Gremlins themselves, I like that they kind of evolved a little bit. They gave them a few of them could say a few words. We actually got one that spoke, and then he kind of set up potential plot points throughout the rest of the film. The bat thing was really cool, and the bat never got melted or ele- electrified, so he's still out there somewhere. Now, where he is, we have no idea, because he flew off into New York, and he's somewhere in New York, or maybe he went somewhere or went south. I I don't know, but potentially we have two gremlins still out there. We have the bat. We have the female um, Magua or Mogwai. I really like that. To to introduce basically the female version of Gremlin. Um, was really kind of a cool and um, I don't want to say gross design, but kind of a disturbing this design all at the same time. But as the film goes on, you kind of get used to it, and I actually do like the design of the female Mogwai, and it makes me wonder what other um versions of what other looks could you have for female Mogwais? Because we have different versions of what male Mogwais look like, but what do the female Mogwai look like? What all kinds of different interpretations could you have? Um, I like that she was obsessed with this one guy, Forrester, and at the end of the film, um, we see that he kind of relaxed a little bit, and he actually, I wouldn't say enjoyed it, but he kind of accepted his fate and kind of liked it, if I may say so. We actually got one that talked and spoke to um the reporter and that type of stuff. It was funny to mention that he just wanted the same type of things for his species, his people, and I was kind of curious to see if there was going to be any new rules added to it, and there wasn't really any new rules and stuff like that. Um, to say the very least, I kind of wish there were, but I get it because it would be hard to keep track of all the rules added and stuff like that. Um, but they did introduce, and we talked about it a little bit, just different variations when they started to drink. Um, when they started to drink the vials of different stuff that it might be. Gizmo, I like Gizmo. I like that they used Vegan to kind of foreshadow what he was going to do, and they used First Blood Part 2 to kind of give us that feel that he was going to actually do something later on, um, just foreshadowing the entire thing. I like the I like the line that they picked for him, but I think there there's a deeper line and has more meaning in the second one that they could have used um in order to basically make the point more effective or more personal for Gizmo. I can't think of the line right now in First Blood Part 2. Um, if I do remember it, if I ever do a reaction to it, um, and I do remember, Gremlins, I might point it out, but there is a line that I think that has more importance that he could have memorized besides, in order to survive war, you have to become war. Or use the line, now that I'm thinking about this, use the line of, uh, "You're not expendable to me," or something like that. Which I think is the line exactly, but I think that might have been more important to Gizmo than anything else because up until that point, he was basically getting um, tortured by the other gremlins and stuff like that. I think the more important line might have been, and I'm not sure because I haven't watched um, First Blood Part 2 in a while, but I think the one that might have fit better is "You're not expendable to me." But I like that they brought that back. That actually makes sense for Gizmo's character because everything that he learns is through television. Um, Now we didn't have the old man to say, you know, bah, television, you shouldn't be watching that. Or maybe he didn't like in the first 10 or, first 5 or 10 minutes of the movie. I just don't remember. I liked the evil guy. In fact, I think I know the actor who plays the evil scientist. I said evil guy, but the evil scientist that wants to cut him open. His voice sounds very familiar. I think his name is like Chris Lee or something. I don't hold me to that because I don't know, but I really like that a lot. I really liked his performance and stuff like that. Um, and, s- and I like kind of the henchmen too, just a little bit because they are a little bit naive, but they're not like I don't think they're like cartoon villain type evil with the henchmen and stuff. Um, but they might be. I like the firemen's. They were still funny in this. I like that the guy was still he still didn't like foreign things and that sort of thing, and he actually helped out in defeating them this time, which I'm I kind of really liked it. Because I wasn't sure what Billy's plan was. So for Mr. Futterman to actually use the hose on him, he's like, "Are you sure? Are you are you positive about this idea?" And he's like, "Yes, just do it." And I didn't know what Billy's plan was, but with one of them being electrified, that helped to destroy the rest of them, which I found very, very interesting. I didn't think that was gonna actually be anything, but since it was actually gonna be something and part of the actual plot, I had to include it in this reaction, um, to say the very least, just to show what actually happened to him. All right, guys, I think that's everything that I wanted to talk about in this post discussion and outro. If I did leave anything out that you guys would like me to talk about, we can talk about that down in the comments below. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, just let me know down in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video. And until then, do take care of yourselves and have a happy new year because today is New Year's Day. And with that, guys, consider like, commenting, and subscribing, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you, guys.